The time to invest is now. The local economy is recovering, the island stock market conquered the world, and the best place to do business in the Caribbean and Latin America is Jamaica. As a Jamaican, don't be left out as others are coming and investing in several sectors such as agriculture and manufacturing. To speak more on opportunities within the Jamaican stock market, General Manager of the Jamaica Stock Exchange, Marlene Street Forest, is our guest this week on Issues.
There's a direct connection between the exchange and the normal man on the road. Again, when you look at the companies that are listed on the exchange, 75 to 80% of the corporate tax that the government gets is earned from the companies that are listed.
Then later, we talk bamboo. Yes, that's a booming local industry with value-added products being shipped regularly to the United States of America. Hi, I'm Andrea Chisholm. Welcome to this Sunday's edition of Jamaica Magazine. Stay with us. The show begins now.
Jamaica, this is Kevin Downswell. We original. We're blessed. We have something about us that the world craves. We don't need to compromise. We don't need to rob. We don't need to thief nobody. Everybody who watch this have something unique in them that God placed in you, that was used to bring you favor, was used to bring you wealth. Find it. It's inside of you. Whether they're on the street side, something special inside of you. Whether they're at the bar or drink rum and you try to drink away your troubles, listen to me. And I'll say go. If you find that thing is what is the very thing that will bring you wealth, the very thing that will bring your life to a level you never imagined. Everybody out there have a choice. And my challenge to you is choose to do the right thing. Choose to not bust that gun. Choose to not smoke that weed. Choose the right thing. Your decision will create a habit, and your habit will create a future. That means if your decision is wrong every day, your future will end up being popped down. But if you decide that you're not going to do that, and you're going to stand up for the right, watch it. Your future big. You're blessed. Jamaica, you're blessed. Youth, you're blessed. Girl, you're blessed. Love.
Jamaica's tiny stock market conquers the world in 2015, blasts Bloomberg News. Good news for Jamaica on the international scene and the result of hard work by the government to ensure a positive environment for investment. Next, the General Manager of the Jamaica Stock Exchange breaks it down with host Ian Boyne on this week's Issues and Answers.
Thanks for joining us for Issues and Answers. I'm Ian Boyne. The Jamaican Stock Exchange was the best performing of all the world's stock exchanges last year. What accounted for that? Why this dynamism of the Jamaican Stock Exchange? Well, we have with us today the General Manager of the Jamaica Stock Exchange, Marlene Street Forest, and she will shed light on this. We'll also talk about the upcoming conference that the Stock Exchange hosts annually. We thank you so much for your company. Good to have you, Mrs. Street Forest. So Jamaican Stock Exchange was the most buoyant last year, growing by over 90%. What have been the main factors for this extraordinary growth?
There are several factors. The macroeconomic condition, the stable macroeconomic conditions, the fact that interest rate has fallen, and so investors are looking at other options for investment. The listed companies have done very well in terms of their net profit, and by and large, the stocks on the market were undervalued. So all these factors, and those are external now to the exchange. When you look at the exchange also, we have constantly provided a fair and efficient stock market. And by that I mean that it is stable, it is well regulated. So when you put all those factors together, persons have now seen the advantage of coming back to market.
And the way our stock market is run, its efficiency and its use of technology,
Yes.
isn't that also avant-garde?
Most important, because if a stock market is not properly run, it is not a recognized exchange. Jamaica Stock Exchange is a recognized exchange. Our technology is comparable to any global standards.
Is that so?
It is. We're a member of the World Federation of Exchanges. We are also a member of the Sustainable Exchanges of the World. So these are some factors that play in to how we are managed or we are run. Yes.
The connection, Mrs. Street Forest, between the economic reform program of the administration and the stock exchange, we need to drill down on how does the economic program influence the buoyancy of the stock exchange? What signals does the fact that the macroeconomic indices are going in the right direction send?
Well, the fact that we are going in the right direction, companies are more able to make the type of decisions that they need to in terms of expansion and growth. Companies will be fearful if the economic conditions are not suitable for them to invest in. Actually, they might instead go outside of Jamaica. But what you have found is that based on the economic climate, based on the things that have been put in place to grow the economy, companies are now willing to invest, to explore opportunities within Jamaica and externally. And by that factor also, companies are willing to employ more. And the factors that, for example, in terms of imports or other factors of production, if they are able to do that and reduce their cost of production, it also extend to the normal man on the road in terms of what is the price of that product, what are they able to sell those products for. So the competition, they are more competitive to foreign goods and services. So it's very important.
So there is a connection
Yes.
between the growth of our stock exchange
Yes.
and the welfare of ordinary people. Because sometimes people say, Mrs. Ford, yeah, that's for the big man, the stock exchange growing. That don't have anything to do with us.
No.
That's not true.
Not so at all.
It has everything to do with
the-
ordinary people.
With the ordinary people, the growth and the welfare of ordinary people, which is why stock exchange is so passionate about companies seeking equity capital, for example, to lower their cost of production, and that is a pass-through to the normal man on the road. So in terms of what they buy, it can be cheaper. In terms of employment, if companies are not growing, they cannot employ. So the unemployment rate is going to go up. So and also just the thought of hope that it gives. So there's a direct connection between the exchange and the normal man on the road. Again, when you look at the companies that are listed on the exchange, 75 to 80% of the corporate tax that the government gets is earned from the companies that are listed. So you want to encourage more companies to come to market because they are transparent and they are going to be paying their tax. They are going to, it rises GCT, PAYE, all of those import tax, all of those, and those contribute to how the country is run. Without taxation, you can't have a
money to run the health sector, money to provide basic
That is
supplies, to
correct.
provide
education, all of those.
is connected.
It is connected, yes.
So we're showing that the stock exchange and issues to do with the stock exchange are not just things in the air, but very much relate to your way of life and to your prospects for 2016. The General Manager of the Jamaica Stock Exchange, Mrs. Marlene Street Forrest, is our guest on Issues and Answers. We take a break.
A healthy and educated people living in a clean, natural environment, reducing crime, improving the justice system and governance, building a prosperous economy. It's not just a vision, it's reality. Learn about the plan. Join the vision.
My country, Jamaica, has a rich heritage and is very unique. If we all pull together, we can make it the place of choice to live, work, raise family, and to do business.
For more information on Vision 2030, call the Planning Institute of Jamaica or visit vision2030.gov.jm, your parish library, school library, or the Jamaica Information Service.
Jamaica Stock Exchange was the #1 stock exchange in the world last year. Quite an accomplishment for this small country. The General Manager of the Jamaica Stock Exchange, Mrs. Marlene Street Forrest, is our guest on Issues and Answers. One of the things that the respected Bloomberg pointed out, Mrs. Street Forrest, was the fact of our regulatory environment. That our regulatory environment is so attractive and robust that this was one of the reasons for the confidence that investors have in our stock exchange.
That is correct. And they are correct. The Jamaica Stock Exchange itself is regulated by the Financial Services Commission. And the Jamaica Stock Exchange regulates the companies that are listed on the exchange and other market players. So the Jamaica Stock Exchange regulates the brokers that have to interface with customers. And that is important because people need to have confidence in the market. People need to know that when stocks are valued through the trading and settlement platform, that it is a true valuation. People need to know also that if there's a complaint, there is a place to go and that it will be dealt with fairly and efficiently. So we pride ourselves in the fact that our tagline, creating a fair, efficient and transparent, underlining transparent market, is in fact so. So not only are we giving comfort to the persons in Jamaica, but overseas, if a person wanted or saw a company that they wanted to participate in, they would normally would not do so if they don't have confidence, one, in the economy, in the climate, and in the market through which all these transactions take place. We even strengthened our regulatory environment in 2008, where we separated, we demutualized it. It's called demutualization of the exchange, where we separated the ownership of the exchange from the member dealer license, and created a division called the Regulatory and Market Oversight Division, which is independent in its decision from the board of the exchange. That's very, very important. So all decisions made by the Regulatory and Market Oversight Committee, which is an independent committee of the board, all those decisions are final. So there is, there is transparency.
And we haven't been plagued with scandals about insider trading, and these things haven't been much of a problem for us.
No, and we regulate the market, and we ensure that every day that the market is, we look at the transactions that are coming across the market. And if there are transactions that exactly, we explore,
you investigate.
Exactly.
Yes. You have a conference coming up on the 18th.
Yes.
Your major annual conference.
Yes.
A 3-day conference. Tell us about this conference, its importance and its theme.
Well, it's a regional conference on investment and the capital markets. This year will be our 11th year. And it is January 18 to 20. The theme is reaching beyond traditional boundaries and partnering for growth and development. I think somewhere along that line is our theme. But the main thrust is reaching beyond traditional boundaries. Because Jamaica is small and the region is small, but we don't see ourselves as being small. We have to look at other markets. What are the opportunities there and for us to benefit from? What are the type of markets that we have not gone into as yet in terms of, for example, we have not yet explored our culture and the benefits for culture. We have not yet explored the performing arts, etc., in terms of the investment opportunities. And we want to explore those at the conference. And what we find is that the conference allows for networking, sharing of ideas. Out of the conference, we have seen partnerships for different products and services. So we showcase all of that. We'll have practical sessions where we look at companies that are listed, how they have done, how they managed to grow. So a company who has a consideration, do I want to come and list? They will know at that the conference how to do it. There will be a session on the CEO meeting the press.
Is that so?
Oh yes, CEO meeting the press. So you will have now many of the CEOs at that conference sitting at a session and answering the questions about their companies. What they envision for 2016 and beyond. So these are some of the things that...
Quite a lot.
Quite a lot, yes.
And it's not just a talk shop at all.
Not
is
at all.
Talk intending toward results.
Talk
results
intended
oriented.
Exactly.
And the Prime Minister will open the conference on the 18th.
Yes.
It will also be addressed by the Minister of Finance.
The conference will be addressed by the Minister of Finance. We will have the input also of Dr. Van Selm, the representative from IMF. We are going to be having speakers, international speakers. So in total, we'll be having about 30 speakers talking on different aspects of the financial sector, the market, how to do things like integrated reporting for companies that are listed on the exchange. So it will be packed and full of good information.
And congratulations to you also for your fine leadership of the Jamaica Stock Exchange.
Thank you.
I think credit is due to you for the extraordinary performance.
Thank you. We have a good team at the exchange. I want to emphasize that it is teamwork.
Okay, great. The Jamaica Stock Exchange, the world's #1 stock exchange for 2015. This small country continues to chalk up impressive achievements. The General Manager of the Jamaica Stock Exchange, Mrs. Marlene Street Forrest, spending time with us on Issues and Answers today. Next week I'll be back. Until then, Ian Boyne wishing you a pleasant day.
Businessmen and women, members of the MSMEs, no longer do you have to visit several government agencies to register a company or business name. Visit the COJ. They are willing and prepared to assist you in filling out the new business registration form, more commonly known as the super form.
The overwhelming response from the majority of our customers is, why did this take so long to happen? There are persons who actually waited until January 2nd to come here to do their business because they wanted to avoid going to multiple government departments.
Click on ocrjamaica.com for more details.
Several investment opportunities exist within the bamboo industry. From farming the plant to producing value-added items such as charcoal, bamboo is hot. Watch this.
All these items you're viewing were made from bamboo. Yes, that tall plant with its hardy stalk can be crushed, burned, and stripped into all forms of products, even food.
You have about 1,500 products that can be made from the bamboo.
The bamboo industry is big business globally. The plant, which is grown wild locally, is farmed and nurtured in many countries by companies that manufacture bamboo products such as charcoal. Wide-scale planting of bamboo is also said to help mitigate the effects of climate change.
It is one of the best plants that what we call sequesters carbon, in other words, traps carbon from the atmosphere. And by trapping the carbon pollutant in the atmosphere, it in fact creates a better atmosphere and more healthier air for you to breathe, and also decreases the temperature of the atmosphere.
With the potential for environmental improvement, coupled with the prospects for earning foreign exchange, for years Jamaica has tried to tap into this US multi-million-dollar industry. At last, with the right training and lots of passion, Jamaica is poised to gain some $24 million annually.
The identified demand in the USA for Jamaican organic bamboo charcoal is now at 12 million pounds per annum. And I understand also there's some demand in Canada as well for this.
Jamaica's bamboo industry is on the cusp of greatness. 2 years after becoming a full-fledged member of the elite international network for bamboo and rattan in Bar, the country was named chair of the over 40-member organization in 2014.
The International Network for Bamboo and Rattan, for short, INBAR, is a government-to-government organization that one joins when you have bamboo in commercial quantities that can be, in quantities that can be commercialized. We have got access to many of the resources that these 37 other countries have. They have technology documents for many different types of bamboo products. For example, the plywood. We have transfer documents from INBAR, and we got access to Indian standards and Chinese standards from the group.
The Bureau of Standards, an international certified bamboo agency, has intensified its training in the area of bamboo production over the past 3 years. So much so that Jamaica is now exporting bamboo charcoal and manufacturing several value-added products, such as bamboo ketchup. The country is also to embark on the use of marginalized and mined-out lands for the production of bamboo plantations. Plus, Jamaica's first organic bamboo charcoal factory was recently opened in St. Mary.
First of all, if you do not process the bamboo properly, you know that the insect, it's a kind of chichi, will eat that board. When you make it, it will go to dust. So we have to show them how to process the bamboo, to preserve the bamboo. In terms of making the board, you have to actually split the bamboo. They are familiar with using their machete to split. We taught them another way to get that split done more quickly.
On a mission to develop a full-fledged standards-led, market-driven bamboo industry here in Jamaica.
The country has done its research and necessary groundwork. With continued hard work, Jamaica will become a formidable bamboo nation.
Now I speak life over this country, and we cancel every untimely death. No more you pick them and go turn worthless. Have faith you will find money for send them go you take. I declare the greatest crop of future leaders rising up from this generation of youth. Holy men and women, visionaries here, we speak it on, must be a godly fruit. So for the next 50 years of our claim to fame, say make this one thing remain. When we say, Eternal Father, bless our land and guide us in the Father's name. Keep watching Jamaica Magazine.
This is the Aedes aegypti mosquito that spreads the Zika, chikungunya, and dengue viruses. Search for its breeding sites and destroy them. A message from the Ministry of Health, sponsored by the NHF.
Persons interested in participating in the Jamaica Cultural Development Commission's 2016 competitions have been given additional time to submit their entry forms. The new deadline is this Friday, January 15. Groups and individuals interested in participating in the upcoming performing arts competition, Jamaica Festival Song, Jamaica Gospel Song, and Jamaica Children's Gospel Song competitions have additional time to hand in their entry forms. To enter any of these, you can access entry forms, rules, and competition guidelines from the JCDC's website, jcdc.gov.jm, its head office at 3-5 Phoenix Avenue, Kingston 10, or any parish office across the island. In addition to the invaluable experience and talent development that these competitions offer, all competitors have the opportunity to win cash prizes and awards. Be a part of making Jamaica the place of choice to live in a culture-rich environment. Enter now and let your talent shine.
I say be careful what you teach your little children. Make sure I know something to hurt them. Mind what you saying to my sister. She could be the next Prime Minister.
Children in Jamaica constitute anyone who is under the age of 18 years. And so once you have a child who is under your care and supervision, we encourage you at the Office of the Children's Advocate to always know where your children are. It doesn't mean that you have to be there with them, but you certainly know who they're with, where they're going, and the purpose for being there. This is a key component in helping to establish some rules in terms of some ground rules and helping to guide your children towards responsible and sensible choices, and also assisting you if something were to go wrong to know what is the first point of contact to assist your child. While you're not to look at everybody as a potential suspect, that you need to be very wary of adults, whether they're in positions of authority or not, that seek to want to have a very close relationship with your child. Somebody who wants to invite your child on an outing and it's just that adult and your child alone. Somebody who wants to take your child to a very special event to reward the child, perhaps for some performance that the child would have done in an extracurricular activity or for academic excellence. We encourage you to look at these situations very carefully and to determine whether or not it's an appropriate meeting or outing that this person is propositioning for your child. If you're enrolling your child in a daycare, ensure that you know something about the track record of that daycare. Ensure that the daycare has what we call an open door policy, which allows you to go in, see what's happening, observe how the workers there interact with the children, and know some of the ground rules that guide these interactions. If they're going on outings, whether it be school trips or otherwise, ensure that at some point, even if you can't go to all, you do attend some of them, so you get yourself integrated into the system and the culture of the school. For these tips, and of course any other information that deals with children, that is anyone under 18 years, please feel free to contact the Office of the Children's Advocate. We're at 72 Harbour Street, downtown Kingston, and our numbers are 948-1134, or website www.oca.gov.jm.
Watch what you teach your little children. Make sure I know something to hurt them. Mind what you saying to my sister, cause she could be the next Prime Minister.
Think on this. Life is 10% what happens to you and 90% how you react to it. Words of Charles R. Swindoll. For more information on the Jamaica Stock Exchange or other issues featured on today's show, click on our webpage, jis.gov.jm. We're also on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook, so log on and stay in the know. I'm Andrea Chisholm. Pleasant viewing.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.